We have a new president, the same as the old president. Thank you, The Who. And thank you, all the swing states. 2024 election. I think they still. Oh, have they? Has 100% of everything come in at this point? I just wanted to see if the turnout increased or decreased. I don't know if that number. Come on, give me the. We're at 99% reporting, so they're not 100%. But it was a razor in the popular vote, which doesn't count, which is funny. We live in a democracy, but it doesn't matter who gets more votes because that's how democracy works, right? In the popular vote, it was razor thin. Trump won by. Right? I mean, again, it's not 100%. It's 99% reporting. But as of right now, he has 50% of the vote exactly. And Kamala got 48.4. So can I do math? 1.6%, right? So that's not a lot. So it was a thin margin. We shall see what happens. I mean, I'm always rooting for America. I'm always hoping for the rising tide to lift all boats. Am I holding my breath? No, but I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'll be. Hey, I didn't vote for the guy, but he's the president. I want the president to succeed. I want America to succeed. I want everyone to succeed. So there you go. So I'm rooting for America, but that also, it's not just if a Republican's in charge, if a Democrat's in charge, if they do something I don't agree with, I'm going to call them out on it. So, there we go. So, I don't know. I live in, as someone commented on my YouTube channel, a socialist. Where did they say I live in? I live in friggin' the Soviet Union. I don't know. Someone just was like, you live where all the socialists live. They're not socialists here, trust me. They are resistance liberals. That's what they are. And they are all a lot of them were very. I just think it's goofy if you think either of the establishment parties, when they get into power, it's going to change everything. No, it's not. It's clearly not. It's not going to change everything. Trump just presents himself. He presents himself authentically, and he broke politics in a way, or did he break it? He didn't break it. I don't know. Did he? He broke the old mold for what you thought a politician had to be. That's what I'm trying to say. And that people think that's a cosmetic change. Is it a change on policy, legislation, how they're going to govern? Who knows? We'll see. So yeah. Is either party exactly the same? No. But are they more similar than most people would like to admit? Yes. They're both the big business party. They're both captured by wealthy elites. So, it's. Yeah. So there we go. The President of the United States. First president since Grover Cleveland to have a non-consecutive terms. So I don't know, big history dork. I was like, oh, it's only happened one other time in our history. I don't know. Was it the same situation with Grover Cleveland? Did he win, run again, lose, and then do it again? Let me see. 1892. He wins. 1892. Nice. 1896. Oh, wait. No, hold on. I've gone too far. I've gone too far in the future. Grover Cleveland beat James G. Blaine. Then he lost to Benjamin Harrison, and then he won against Benjamin Harrison. So this has happened before in America, but not for a while. Over 100 years ago. So yeah, that was the fun fact about that. Trump is the second non-consecutive president. There we go. The only other thing that I want to talk about the election in Massachusetts, we were voting on legalizing psychedelics. Question 4. Spoiler alert, it did not pass. I was disappointed about that. I was also not holding my breath about that. I don't know why my gut told me it wasn't gonna pass. I don't know. People are... I really don't know. I guess I don't know. People are more... People are more anti-drug than they let on. I don't know. Or people are just more conservative, I guess, than they let on or act. I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. Don't listen to me. I'm a great orator for this question. I supported it because I've seen so many people talk about the positive effects on people with PTSD and mental health issues and whatnot, and just, people giving their own testimony about it. Really, okay, this is kind of what I thought about it. I thought maybe the jump from illegal to fully legal might have been too big of a switch for some people. I honestly, my gut, I feel like if this question was to decriminalize psychedelics statewide, I feel like that would have had a much better chance of passing than going from just decriminalization in a few certain cities in Massachusetts to fully legalization. Again, I'm in favor of legalization of psychedelic substances. I think they're incredibly beneficial for medicine, and some of them are natural. I saw some, I don't know, I watched, because this was the question I was most interested in. I watched like a quick little debate about it or whatever, and some psychiatrist or whatever made the point. Some people who were against it were saying they didn't like the fact that you could grow it at home. But I mean, I think that's dumb because I don't know. It's a plant. It's a fungus or whatever. So I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know. I think you should be allowed to cultivate it. Hey, that's just my opinion. I don't know. Some people were against the commission and advisory board to regulate it or whatever, but I don't. To me, I mean, I read that and I did think, okay, that's a little weird, I guess, but that wasn't enough for me to be like, I'm going to oppose this. Because again, I mean, if you legalize it, that's, I mean, the correct answer and what should happen. Um, I mean, I mean, you could, just from a freedom perspective, literally, just, I mean, forget all, you could just make an argument based on freedom that you should be allowed to do this. And I think you should. And then, the even better argument is that this actually helps people. So why is it illegal? I have my own conspiracy theories about that. Like the government knows that the psychedelics make you awake, man, and then you're not a slave to society, bro. Or it was Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan in the 60s who wanted to criminalize the lifestyle of their political opponents, hippies, people they knew who used drugs, and they were like, okay, we criminalize their lifestyle, we put our political opponents in prison, there you go. Done and dusted. Ronald Reagan, that was when he was the governor of California? In the 60s. So yes, Massachusetts question 4, legalization and regulation of psychedelic substances initiative was defeated, unfortunately. But it was 57%, 42%. So I mean, what's yeah, again, not a huge only 7% of percentage points deciding that one. So I mean, it was close. But yeah, I think eventually it will be legalized. I hope in my lifetime. At least decriminalized. I mean, I don't know. I think the benefits speak for themselves. Anecdotally, just hearing from people and, some studies that have been done. I think there's definitely some evidence out there 100% that these are positive substances and they help people. And it's strange. It's like you don't... I don't want to say it's harder to get addicted to them, because, I mean, you can get addicted to anything. But I don't know, just the nature of these substances. I mean, if you've ever taken them, it's easier to understand. I mean, that's really also what I think a lot of this was people who have never done this, have no idea what this is, and they just hear. I mean, there's so many. What was the programming they told me in health class in 8th grade about LSD? Oh, it's gonna get stuck in your spine, and then one day you'll just start tripping balls again. And you're like, oh, that sounds scary. But then you do it, and you're like, oh, free psychedelic experience, sign me up. I'm still waiting for that to happen to me, guys. So, yeah, I don't know, just in the culture in general, the war on drugs. So, all right, Massachusetts was voting on psychedelics, but a few other states were voting on legalization of marijuana, which I thought that had a better chance of passing, but none. 0 states legalized cannabis, which I thought was I was surprised by that. Let me find it. The New York Times had a really good breakdown of like all of them. Here we go. Oh my God, Google. Ugh. Here we go. All right, thank you. Yes, so Nebraska legalized medical marijuana, and it was on the ballot in North and South Dakota and in Florida for full legalization, and it failed in all three. Now, in Florida, though, this is so crazy to me, and I actually did want to talk about this. This is ridiculous. It got 55.9% of the vote. Majority of the people in Florida who voted for it were in favor of it. But Florida has a rule, which I didn't even know about, that for ballot measures to pass, it has to reach 60%, which someone's going to have to explain that one to me. Because, I mean, how is that more democratic? I don't understand. That weirdly, it gives the minority more power in, of like, I mean, exactly what happened. Like if you're in the range of 50 to, if you're in the majority, 50 to 59%, you're in the majority, but it's not enough of a majority, I guess. Well, that is the rule. That is incredibly stupid, incredibly undemocratic, and to me, obviously just implemented to prevent change and help keep things from not moving in a certain direction. I'm sure opponents of this would say, "Oh, it's just to make sure that, whatever gets passed is, overwhelmingly supported or whatever." But I mean, if you look through American history, I'm pretty sure you could find some examples of certain things that were passed that were razor thin margins and maybe didn't have 60% of people in favor of it, but should have was the correct way to go, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I just think it's hilarious that, I mean, I don't know, it's hilariously stupid that you can have again, it's like we have a system where it just doesn't make sense to me that less people, it doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense how you can have a vote it's breaking my brain. Like when you're a kid and you have class elections or whatever the hell, do you have the kid who gets less votes win? Like, no, it's always like fundamentally, it's always like whoever gets the most votes wins or whatever. So I don't know. I think it's very interesting that this creates a system where you can have the minority have more power than the majority. You can have less people outweigh more people. It's very interesting.